Welcome back, everyone, to the final explainer of our journey, Tat Tvam Asi, and the anchor of universal peace. We've spent a lot of time exploring ancient spiritual libraries, right? And we've looked deeply at subtle energy sciences. But, okay, let's dive into this, because today we are going to weave all those beautiful threads together to actually solve humanity's greatest crisis.
Take a look at the stark contrast on this screen. It's kind of wild, right? On one hand, we are more technologically connected than at any other point in human history. We've built these absolutely incredible things, including, tragically, weapons capable of destroying the planet multiple times over. Yet, on the other hand, we are literally drowning in an epidemic of loneliness, anxiety, and just this deep-seated isolation. We have engineered all this massive external power, but we totally lack the internal tools to conquer the microscopic egos, prejudices, and everyday fears that actually cause us to pull those triggers.
We try so hard to solve these global crises from the outside in. We throw politics at it, economics, military dominance, digital algorithms, the whole shebang. But I absolutely love this brilliant metaphor from our source material. A tree whose roots are sick cannot be healed by simply painting its leaves. It hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? Our external attempts constantly fail because they completely ignore the true spiritual root of the problem. We just keep treating the symptoms while the core continues to rot.
And what exactly is that root? Well, as you can see here, the fundamental crisis of our world is the illusion of separation. It really is that simple and that profound. Humanity is experiencing this massive identity crisis because we genuinely believe we are fundamentally isolated from one another. We look around and just see ourselves as separate entities, totally cut off from the rest of existence. And that illusion, that's exactly what makes the roots of our world so sick.
To shift from that massive global crisis to a very microscopic individual solution, we're going to look at the ultimate destination of all Hindu philosophy: the texts, the yoga, the intense rituals. All of it can actually be summarized in just 3 earth-shattering Sanskrit words from the Chandogya Upanishad. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it boils down to Tat Tvam Asi, which translates beautifully to "that thou art."
Let's deconstruct this ancient language step by step so we can really grasp its magnitude. Tat means that. We're talking about the infinite, boundless, eternal intelligence that literally birthed the galaxies, the energy powering the entire cosmos. Tvam means thou, meaning you, the individual sitting right here, right now, living your human life. And Asi means art, or is. You are that. I mean, it almost sounds like ancient astrophysics when you think about it. You're not some fragile, separate creature born by accident into a cold universe. No way. You are literally the universe itself, waking up to experience itself in human form. The sky isn't just above you, it is part of your expression. The earth isn't just beneath you, it is your very body.
Now, when this concept shifts from just being a beautiful intellectual philosophy into a living, breathing internal experience, man, everything changes. See, in an ordinary, unevolved state, the ego builds walls. It absolutely thrives on duality. It creates all these divisions, my country versus your country, my religion versus yours. And putting up those boundaries just creates fear, which naturally leads to aggression and conflict. But the realization of Tat Tvam Asi, actually seeing there is literally no other to fear, instantly destroys the root of human violence. Because think about it, if the soul across the border is totally identical to the soul inside of you, harming them is literally an act of self-destruction. Loving them becomes the only logical choice.
Think of humanity through this incredibly powerful lens. We are all different waves belonging to the exact same ocean. Just let that beautiful imagery sink in for a second and think about how that completely redefines our global goals. Universal peace isn't just some diplomatic negotiation or a temporary ceasefire where 2 sides agree to stop fighting while secretly still harboring hatred. True peace is the spontaneous, joyful recognition of the shared cosmic identity. We're all the exact same water, just taking different temporary shapes.
So let me ask you, how does this profound realization actually change our daily human behavior? It's one thing to understand this on an abstract, philosophical level, right? But we have to actively consider the practical, real-world implications of this massive mindset shift. If we are all one, how do we act when we wake up tomorrow morning and interact with society?
This brings us to a concept that can completely transform human sociology, and that is Ahimsa,
Now, a lot of people in the West think of nonviolence merely as a passive act, just the absence of physical fighting or war. But in the vocabulary of the sages, ahimsa is an intensely active, dynamic force. It means the absolute, complete eradication of the desire to harm any living being. And that spans across everything. It flows through your physical actions, your spoken words, and yes, even down into the depths of your silent thoughts.
This is exactly why the great epic, the Mahabharata, declares with absolute authority, Ahimsa paramo dharma. Non-violence is the highest duty, the supreme virtue. So the crucial point is, why is it the highest duty? Because it is the direct, undeniable behavioral proof of your spiritual realization. It is the living proof that you actually understand the core philosophy we just discussed.
And this actually serves as a really stark warning against what the text calls an empty mask of spirituality. Look, you can chant mantras perfectly, you can visit temples every single day, and you can claim to be a great yogi. But if your heart still holds bitterness or judgment based on someone's nationality or lifestyle, it's just an empty mask. On the flip side, a person truly living Sanatana Dharma becomes a sanctuary of safety for all creation. Animals naturally feel calm around them, children trust them instantly. Stressed out minds find actual comfort in their presence. They never weaponize their differences. Instead, they use their energy strictly to heal, construct, and protect.
Listen closely to this one. You cannot bring peace to the world if there is a civil war raging inside your own mind. I mean, wow. If you really want to share this wisdom with the world and help maintain global unity, you have to realize the immense power and personal responsibility resting right there in your own hands. You simply cannot give away what you do not possess. You're never going to unite humanity if your own ego is constantly seeking to judge and divide internally.
So what does this mean for us? It means the true work of sharing Sanatana Dharma with the world is not some act of broadcasting or preaching. It is an act of becoming. You don't need to argue with people, you don't need to convert anyone, and you certainly don't need to prove that your philosophy is somehow superior. Instead, just let your life be your message. Let your deep, unshakable mental clarity and your boundless everyday compassion serve as your living message to the world.
So, how do we embody this philosophy in real time? Well, here are some really clear, actionable steps you can take. First, when you sit in meditation and quiet the ripples of your own mind, you are actively healing a piece of the world's consciousness. Second, when you respond to anger with gentle, therapeutic speech, you stop a cycle of negative karma dead in its tracks. And third, when you treat your home, your workplace, and your natural environment with sacred reverence, well, you're doing something incredible. And this brilliantly illustrates how these simple daily actions actively anchor the energy of the Golden Age right here in the present. These aren't just chores, they are daily actions with a massive cosmic impact.
As we prepare to bring this explainer and honestly our magnificent journey together to its formal close, I really want to set a focused, reverent tone here. Let's look at the ultimate, timeless cosmic prayer for global harmony, and let its profound vibration resonate across every continent, every ocean, and straight into the heart of every single living being. I'd love for you to read these words with me and really let the energy build. May there be peace in the heavens. May there be peace in the sky and space. May there be peace on earth. May the waters be peaceful. May the medicinal herbs and plants bring peace. May the great trees bring peace. May the cosmic forces bring peace. May the supreme divine reality bring peace. May peace wrap itself around everything. May that absolute peace belong to everyone. And may that peace settle deeply within my own soul.
So, as you go forth into your life today with absolute dignity, a fearless heart, and an open mind, I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought. Remembering who you truly are, an immortal soul, a literal spark of the divine fire. Will you choose to be an anchor of universal peace today? May you find perfect stillness within, and may you radiate that light to every single corner of our beautiful, shared world. Namaste. The divine light in me bows completely to the divine light within you.